Your engineers already have the AI tools: Codex, Claude Code, Cursor, paid for, installed, and sitting right there. So does every other team. The tools aren't the advantage. The advantage is the harness around them. There are 4 layers that most teams never set up. This is the highest leverage week of work a technical leader has in front of them right now. Same model everyone else is renting, 4 cheap layers around it, and your team starts getting output no one else's tools can match. The model is a commodity. The same Claude serves you as it serves your competitor. You can't really outmodel anyone. The harness is the only part that's yours, and almost everyone confuses "we adopted AI" with "we bought some Claude licenses." From where I see it, the license gets you a commodity, and the harness is what gets you the leverage. I run a team of 20 senior engineers. Every client engagement, day one, before we work on a feature or anything like that, we install the harness first. What I'm walking you through, it isn't a theory, it's the actual configuration my team works on. It's 4 layers. And the first is knowledge, is what agent knows about your team. Second, capabilities is what it can do on repeat. Third is connectivity, is what it can touch. And fourth is governance, what the agent is not allowed to do without your say-so. For each one, what it is, what breaks without it, and the call you actually have to make as the leader. A harness is actually everything you put between your people and LLM. It works both ways. Going in, it shapes what the model gets from you. Your standards, your context, the way your team actually works. Coming back out, it shapes what the model can actually do in your world. What it can run, what it can reach, what it's actually blocked from touching. Think of it as everything that agent carries that engineers never touch directly. They just talk to it, and the harness does the rest. And here is the part that makes it a leadership job, not an engineering one. Without it, every engineer rebuilds their own world, their own config. The leverage isn't one engineer's clever setup. It's installing the harness once for the whole team on purpose, and that's the whole game. What an agent knows about your team, not your code base. It can read that. I mean the things that are not in the code. Your standards, your conventions, the decisions you made and why you made them. This lives in files an agent can read on its own. Claude MD, product context files, repo level rules. Your engineers, they never open these files day to day. They just ask the agent and the agent already knows. AI gives you consistent output only when it gets a consistent input. If every engineer is prompting from their own head, every result is shaped by whoever happened to ask. The agent matches your team's standard by accident, if matches at all. Code review catches some of the drift, but the review doesn't scale to the volume that agent produces. Who writes this? Who keeps this current? Where it lives? In the repo, shared, owned by the team, and definitely not a single person's laptop. The mistake I see on every team I take over, this got left to whichever engineer started using Claude first. It grows just by accident. There is no intentionality to curating it. Knowledge about how your team works belongs to the team, and the first thing I do is to name an owner for it. That's the foundation. The next layer is where the multiplier actually starts. These are workflows you package once and your team runs on forever. This isn't just tips for prompting better. This is taking one engineer's best workflow, packaging it for the whole team, and turning it into something the team just has. One of your engineers figures out a great AI QA flow, uses it for a week, then they switch teams or leave. The workflow works out with them, and the next person reinvents it from scratch. The team-level AI layer compounds only when this layer is active. A big chunk of my team's actual leverage comes from this one layer. Which workflows get codified, who owns the version updates, how they get distributed. The mistake here is treating skills as personal productivity. But think of them as your org infrastructure and treat them like this. Knowledge and capabilities make the agent smart and useful. This next layer is where it becomes an actual teammate, and it's where most teams have the biggest blind spot. Without connectivity, every action needs a person in the middle, copy-pasting output back and forth. The agent talks about your systems, but the person still does the work. Wire it up, and that gap closes. Now the agent does the actual work. Here is the part nobody warns you about. The default way engineers wire this up with their own accounts. So the agent inherits whatever that engineer can do. If your engineer can delete production data, the agent can delete production data. The blast radius of the mistake equals to the blast radius of the account it's running under. The discipline is simple to say, but it's very rare to see. The agent never uses a personal account. You give it a scoped service account instead. Read-only by default, locked to a specific set of resources. Nothing destructive it can do without a human oversight. Cloud Infra, a read-only service account that can list, describe, and get resources, but never delete or modify. Databases, a select-only role, and anything that writes need a human in the loop. Third-party systems start with a read-only account, especially for anything that's touching a sensitive data. When the agent is wired into real systems, its mistakes are real mistakes against real systems, and the account is the seatbelt. Tighten it and you shrink the blast radius of those mistakes. Don't trust the agent to be careful. Make it so it cannot do the damage in the first place. For every external system your agents reach, what's the permission policy? Who provisions them? Who reviews them? The mistake is skipping this and finding out about this gap during the incident, not before one. On my engagements, before we wire a single connection, we always provision a scoped accounts, and it's done even for internal tools. Smallest permission surface that still allows agent to do the work, and we widen it only if we have to. So the agent can reach your real systems now, safely scoped. Last layer is how you let it move fast through all of this without blowing up anything in production. Layer 3 decided what the agent can reach, and this layer decides what it's allowed to do once it's connected. Allow lists wave through the routine work. Hooks catch the patterns a permission scope can see and block them before they run. Without this layer, you get one of two failures. Either an engineer turns off auto approve and clicks yes on every single ask, and the agent slows to become a chat window with extra steps, or they turn auto approve on with nothing scoping it, and the agent runs straight into production. This layer is the middle path. The safe things run on their own, and the dangerous things they stop and ask. The line what matters is what runs without you and what waits for you. Auto mode gets a bad reputation. It earns that reputation when the teams switch it on without having a third layer underneath it. But with scoped accounts limiting the blast radius and allow list gating the dangerous commands, auto mode is the point. It's basically like a cruise control on a road that has guardrails. Two locks: the harness allow list and the scoped accounts. If one fails, the other holds. We run auto mode on most of our agent work, but only because the scope underneath is solid. If I had to skip one layer, it would never be this combination. Auto mode without scoped accounts is the line I don't cross. What runs free, what gets gated, and what do you do when the agent gets it wrong? Decide all of that up front. If you want to see where your own team stands on these 4 layers, I put together an audit. Drop your email and it will score every layer for you and tell you which one to install first. Link is in the description. No sequence, no spam, just result. So that's the full system. 4 layers done in order. The last 90 seconds are actually the part that changes how you spend Monday. Here is what I want you to take from this. Your job is not to write knowledge files, create skills, package the workflows, provision the accounts. Your engineers can do it. Your job is 3 moves. Decide which layer your team needs first. Name an owner for each one. Then give them the time and hold them accountable for actually installing it. If you want my default ordering, start with knowledge. For most teams, there is no shared layer at all. It's all in people's head. Once that's in place, scoped accounts are the most leveraged for the least work, and actually the biggest drop in risk. The teams winning with AI aren't the ones with best engineers. They're the ones whose leadership installed the harness intentionally, in the right order, with clear ownership. Everyone else is paying per seat for AI tools and getting no leverage. So that's the harness I install on every team I run. 4 layers, and each one multiplying the next. If your team has the AI tools installed but none of the leverage, that gap is exactly what we close at Team Brilliant. We come in, audit your current state, and then install all 4 layers with your team so that they own it after we leave. There is a free strategy call at teambrilliant.ai. Link is in the description. And one last thing, inside layer 2, there is a capability that catches the AI-generated bugs better than anything else, a special kind of acceptance test. The one pre-production check I actually trust on any AI-shipped code. It works by testing that the AI-shipped code actually exactly what the business wants. The alignment that most teams never check. I made the whole video on exactly that. How it's written, why AI can't fake it, and how to install it on your team. Watch that one next and see you there.